Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn. This is the week ahead reading for February 14th to the 20th. It is for fire signs, so Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And for those individuals under those signs who have those signs in their sun, moon, rising, and Venus. So for this, I'm using the week ahead spread, right? And the cards are not done in regular chronological sequence, like it doesn't go from Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Saturday. The sequence that I'm using here is based on the ancient system of the planetary hours, in which each of the 7 classical planets ruled a day of the week. The days of the week, this is not based on their order, just based on the way that we know it to be. So Monday, the ruling planet is the moon. Tuesday, the ruling planet is Mars. Wednesday, it's Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn. And Sunday is the Sun. The card positions for this layout relates to the order of spheres according to the Greek scholar Ptolemy, who arranged the planets in a sequence based upon the decreasing speed of their orbits, beginning with the fast-moving moon, then followed by Mercury, which is Wednesday, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and finally slow-turning Saturn, which is Saturday. In Ptolemy's order, these planets rule the days Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And so this is the order in which I read the cards, right? The first card is the signifier card, which is the overall theme and energy of the reading. And the card that came out for you guys is the Tower. The Tower card is one that discusses, or the main issue with the Tower card is like a specific event that happens that is basically here to kind of clear up and shake up your life. When a Tower card comes out, you hear people are always scared of like Tower card moments. It's like an event that happens, like I said, that is really kind of focused on the foundation of something that you've built. There's like a story, a biblical story really, about a man who builds his house on sand and a man that builds his house on a rock. And so the idea is that if you built your house on sand, when the ocean waves come in, or when there's any type of resistance or any thing that happens that is major, that house will deteriorate and it will come crashing down. So ideally, you want to build your house on a solid foundation, such as a rock, because when things happen, it's not as easy or quickly to kind of like fall apart. And so when a tower moment happens, there will be things that will be, an event that happens that is basically here to test the foundation of something that you've built or something that you're building. And the Tower card will remove any situation, any person, anything out of your life that is not here for your greatest good and is stopping you from building something that is sustainable, that is long lasting, and that is essentially a very solid foundation. And so the card that comes out for Monday is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Monday is ruled by the moon. And like I always say in my readings, whenever I see the moon, it's a revelation of things. Things that are hidden are coming to light. And so what is being revealed here for you is something is obviously not working, right? The 7 of Pentacles is about growth. It's about growing something. In this particular card, you can see this individual, he's putting his time, he's putting his effort, he has planted some seeds, and he's waiting for the yielding of, or the results of that. But in the reverse, it's a lack of success or a lack of a reward or a lack of the outcome that you thought you would have. And so basically it's an idea here that something that you're investing in or something that you're growing or working on or building is not going to give you the outcomes that you think you're going to get. And so in conjunction here with the Tower card, it's really something is going to be tested. So whatever it is that you're building is going to be tested, and it might not necessarily stand up to the test that is given to it. Clarification for the seven of Pentacles, I'm using here the Grand Tableau Lenormand Oracle cards, and the cards that came out are the Whip and the Bouquet. So there is an like I said, this is about a conflict, right? So this could be an argument with someone that you're trying to build build something with. This could be a partner, but it could also be someone that you're working with in terms of like business, so romantic partner or a business partner. There is some sort of conflict here. Someone might feel that they're being taken advantage of in terms of like their niceness, and they feel like their niceness is being taken advantage of in the equation, and that is the result of the argument. But it's also about really kind of taking your time to show someone kindness during a conflict, especially if you want to resolve this conflict and move forward. So it's taking a hit in terms of the dynamic in the relationship, because if you aren't able to speak to this person and handle the conflict in a good way, it could result in losing more than you initially intended, right? The question here is this person trying to intentionally cause you pain? Is this person trying to intentionally cause you harm? And so I think there is an element here of you looking at the intention in this situation to really kind of discern whether or not this is an intentional infliction of pain, or this argument is intended to to intentionally disrupt the dynamic in the situation. And this is especially if the person that you're arguing with is outside of the equation. So this is like, there's this element here that this could be someone that is trying to kind of disrupt what you're building, right? So if this is not a person that's involved in it, so if it's not the actual partner, if it's not your actual significant other, or it's not your actual business partner, or it's not the person that you're actually working with, if they're an outside person, if they're like a third person outside of the equation, is their intention to disrupt the dynamic because of their own personal situation, or their own personal feelings toward it, or is this something internal within? And so I kind of feel like for some of you, it could be one or the other. If this is like an internal thing, if this is an internal dispute with the two people involved, then I said you have to look at the foundation that you're trying to build, if this investment is worth it, if you're going to get what it is that you want out of it, because this could be an indication to you that there's deeper issues here that you don't necessarily see. The Bouquet card here is also comes into the issue of like sincerity, right? So sometimes people speak in like really flowy ways. They kind of like are super flattering all the time. They say things, it sounds pretty, it sounds good, but you have to be mindful of whether or not their communication with you and their flattery with you is really what it is that they're saying. Is it true, or are they just speaking in terms of being flattering? Because if you're building everything based off of this, the flowery words and, the way that they are to you, is it real? And so there is this idea here that you need to be mindful of the things that are being said to you in terms of their legitimacy, in terms of if they're being honest about it, in terms of if they're speaking from truth. Because if you're building something that is not necessarily true or built on a good foundation, again, with the Tower card, it's just not going to work, right? And these cards are not in order because they, like I said, the way that the system works, Tuesday is not next to Monday. So for Tuesday, the card that comes out is the Knight of Pentacles. So Tuesday is ruled by Mars, which is like kind of like what you're fighting for, right? So the Seven of Pentacles is really talking about the hard work that you're putting into basically manifesting this goal or this mission. Like I said, it could be a relationship, it could be business. I really kind of feel like this is talking more about business. You're putting in the work that needs to be done, and you're really fighting for it here. In the position of Mars, you are sticking to what you believe in. You're sticking to the direction that you're focused on going. You're sticking to completing the assignments necessary that will foster growth. And that is really like a fighting type of energy. So it's like you're trying to kind of power through all the things that are happening, like I said, in terms of this Tower card, and really feeling like something is not coming out the way that you wanted it to, but ultimately you are committed to putting in the work. You're committing to make sure that it happens. And so you're going to fight through, whatever attacks or whatever setbacks are happening to ultimately, accomplish the goal that you're working towards. This is really about doing like the everyday things, right? So it's not about the big wins. It's about the little wins for you. It's about the daily grind. It's about, the schedules and the daily responsibilities and obligations that are necessary in order to complete a task or complete the work that needs to be done, whether this is at home or whether this is in business. This could also be an indication that you are kind of focused on like your daily spiritual practices. So just really working on powering through, but focused on like daily meditation, daily mantras, spiritually cleansing, keeping your energy clean. It's a daily thing. It's a daily fight. It's every day is a day for you to kind of sift through the things that are not good, and really trying to implement a sort of practice in your life that will ultimately help you to really be strong in your spiritual foundations, and connect with spirit. The card that came out for Wednesday is the Four of Cups in the reverse. Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, which is the ruling planet for Virgo and Gemini. This card is really like a withdrawal type of energy, right? It's basically you withdrawing, which is typical Virgo energy, which is associated with the Hermit. So this is like Hermit vibes, right? And so this is like what is showing up for Wednesday. It's you kind of just pulling back and retreating back into a space where you're kind of disillusioned with the fact that the work that you're giving or the work that you're doing might not necessarily be producing the accomplishments that you would like, and so you're kind of like trying to reassess and realign with your ultimate plan, your ultimate goal, while still powering forward. The clarification for the Four of Cups in reverse is the Lily card, the House card, the Cross, and the Man. And so this to me is saying that there's an issue of morality, an issue of ethics, particularly with the Man card, a male masculine presenting figure that is at the center of like your disagreement. There is an issue of morality that's kind of being represented here in the card. So there's someone who could have done something in an unethical way, or it doesn't line up with your own values, and so that is kind of like the thing that you're kind of like balancing out, trying to make a decision on what is moral, what is ethical. This could be actually at the basis of the argument is you having to make a decision about what you want to do, making a decision between two choices, and that is the deciding factor in terms of how things are going to go, because there is a choice here that deals with like what you think is moral and ethically sound. If it's good, if it's just, if it's pure. And I think you're really coming to this position where you have to kind of make this decision. So, and to realign with who you really are as a person. The Four of Cups in reverse, like I said, is like withdrawal energy. And so it's withdrawing with the idea that you have to figure out if what you're doing is right, if it's just, if it's moral, if it's ethical. This could be someone you live with. There's a house here. You could possibly be having to make a decision between, like being financially secure or being in a position where you have to make a choice about what is ethically right and what's not. And if that's going to affect your household, is that going to affect your relationships? Is that going to affect your foundation and what you're trying to build? So it's really like a moral and ethical dilemma, a conundrum that's kind of like putting you in the space of feeling like you have to withdraw and realigning with your purpose and realigning with what it is where you're trying to go. You might have to remove some people out of your life because you kind of realize like, okay, we're not on the same page. And so, you're going to have to kind of, make a choice about whether or not you want to continue with them, continue working with them. Ultimately, with the Knight of Pentacles, you're going to move ahead regardless. The question is, who's coming with you? And this is in the position, like I said, of of Mercury, right? Because this is Wednesday. And so some of you can be communicating with a male figure who is, like, again, a pastor, a priest, someone that you feel you trust to give you advice about the situation that you're dealing with. Because it is really like a question of morality kind of in the middle of all this. The card that is coming out for Jupiter Day, which is Thursday, is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is really about, again, Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of optimism, just growth. Exponential growth is here, right? And with the Wheel of Fortune showing up here, it's really like a thing where it's like this is something that you've been through before in the past, right? Having to make these moral choices, these ethical choices, trying to decide what if a path is the right path or a wrong path to go on. And I feel like ultimately the decision that you make is going to allow you to kind of step into this space where you make a choice that is ethically sound and that is for your greatest and highest good. And as a result, you will find that there's expansion here for you. It's the opportunity to grow, to really be generous, with the things that come into your life and share that wisdom with other people. And ultimately to kind of also heal a lot of the things that you are going to be going through as a result. But it's really about good fortune, and it's about miracles, and it's about that chance. So it could be like a chance thing that happens that really kind of catapults what it is that you're working on, and like, whatever, like I said, is at the crux of this foundation situation. It's really going to you might take a loss now, but what it looks like is it'll catapult you forward, due to this decision that you have to make. So this could mean, Jupiter also kind of governs travel, long distance travel, big business and wealth, higher education, and also religion. And so those aspects are here. So as a result of all of this stuff that's going on, you might find yourself in a space to expand exponentially. If this is about a business that we're talking about here, operating from an ethical place is always good for any business person, right? You might not necessarily get the funds or the money that you want at the time, because if you have to make a decision about being ethical or not, you run the risk of like choose the ethical way, you lose out on money. But ultimately, in the long run, you get a reputation for being an ethical business person or operating in an ethical way. And eventually that'll turn into people wanting to deal with you for that same reason, right? So it's really about taking a loss but also as a result of that loss, getting future gain as a result. And so this will bring about miracles in your life that you might not necessarily even see coming to you just because of the way that you operate. In the position for Friday, the card that came out was the Two of Swords. Venus is the ruler of Friday, right? And so for some of you, this is a decision about a relationship. It's really about making a choice. This card is about decisions and decisions that need to be made. Might be by the end of the week, but just a decision period about which way you're going to go. So this could be a decision between two individuals. This could be a decision between two, job positions, or just how you want to navigate in those spaces or those realms. Like I said, this is really about a choice that you have to make, a moral choice, a choice that is for your greatest good, and feeling like if you make the wrong choice, you're going to lose as a result. But ultimately, like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune in Jupiter on Thursday, you make a decision, and you make a decision from a moral and ethical place, you're never going to lose in the long run. And this is a difficult situation and a difficult decision that needs to be made, but you're literally at a crossroads here. And so you have to kind of choose. But this card is also an indication to lean into your spirituality, lean into making a choice based on, what is best for you, but also using your logic and thinking about it in a logical way, and allowing your intuition to kind of help you navigate the situation and help you determine the right choice to make. The card that came out for Saturday is the Queen of Wands. Now, Saturday is ruled by the planet Saturn. And when we see Saturn, Saturn is really an indication, the energy that's associated with Saturn is really about rules, regulation, structure, obligation, ambition, but more importantly, discipline, right? It's about discipline in thinking and in the way that you act and the things that you create. Let's notice the black cat here. The black cat is usually associated with magic. This card really gives me magician vibes. And so it's really about being able to create the things that you want, having the energy, the passion, the ambition, and the structure and the discipline to create these things. And I think based on the other cards that came out, we're really talking about a decision that has to be made that you're going to struggle with, but ultimately you're going to be on the side where you make a decision that is the best for you and what it is that you're trying to do and what it is that you're trying to create. And this is going to make you confident in progressing forwards in terms of working on the things that you want, because ultimately there's going to be something that's going to be removed out of your life to really give you the opportunity to kind of excel and move forward. And this Queen of Wands energy is some really exciting energy. It's also the energy is associated with a little bit like with spirituality with the black cat here, but also about taking power in your ability to discern what is true and what is not true. It's also about having the courage and the determination and the fight to progress and to move forward. It's really about having faith in yourself. And this is really like your energy, right? This is fire sign energy through and through. So you'll find that you'll be able to tap into the essence of who you are. And really, when it comes to making decisions about moving forward, I feel like you're going to be a little bit more confident in that. And so you're going to ultimately be leaving that sense of indecisiveness or that sense of not being sure or having that sense of the lack of confidence in the dust, right? The card that came out for Sunday is the Death card. And the Death card is really, like it says on the card, it says it's a rebirth, right? And so you're going to find that you will go through periods in your life where there are cycles that you repeat, there's cycles that you break. And when you break these cycles, you move in a space of, like I said, more confident type of energy, because you're confident in your ability to make a decision that will eventually work in your favor. And it's also about being able to connect to spirit in a way that we will allow the things that need to leave our life and the things that need to die and the things that we need to let go of them without any regret or without any hesitation. When we're operating from a space of using our intuition to guide us, right? The Death card is being clarified here by 29, a woman, a fox, and the Rain card. So ultimately, this is talking about you're dealing with a woman or feminine energy that is being deceptive, that is being cunning. They could be selfish and really just focused on themselves. And so they're asking you to enter into a commitment based on their own selfish desires. And so you might not necessarily know the full truth about this person, but I feel like ultimately this is what actually comes into your understanding this week is who you're dealing with, right? So this person is really just kind of focused on themselves. And when we get to a space where someone is selfish, it's like really like a thing about survival for them. And so they're going to do what they need to do to survive. And that means that they could potentially enter into contracts or promises or say they're going to do something based on their own self-interest. And so I feel like this is kind of what's coming into your understanding about this particular person, or this could be you acting in this way, and so you're making a decision to kind of step outside of that because you do have the potential to like I said with the Wheel of Fortune, to create something for yourself. So you don't necessarily need to enter anything onto false pretenses or to make commitments that you don't necessarily have any intention of honoring or keeping, because you know that you're able to do these things for yourself. Ultimately, like I said, it's really about making ethical choices, ethical decisions, based on where it is that you want to go and what it is that you want to grow. And also understanding that anything that is built on a foundation that is not solid has no way of surviving and won't make it. And so once you understand that, you're kind of put in a position to make choices for things that will last and for things that will be sustainable. And so when you do that, you work on the foundation. And so the foundation is important. So you're always concerned about the way that things start out. They got to start out right. And each step of the way, it's got to be handled in the right way in order for it to be successful and in order for this tower to last, right? And to remain standing. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This is the end of the video. Please like the video. Please leave me a comment in the section below to let me know how this is manifesting in your life this week. Come back at the end of the week and let me know how much of this reading has kind of, shown up in your life for the week. I would love to hear what's going on with you guys. Please share the video with someone who you feel could benefit from the message here. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for post notifications. And I'll see you soon.